Welcome to the No Budget Indie Filmcast, where we dip into the independent film universe to highlight those little films that you might not have heard about elsewhere. We who agree with our panel, or will our panel agree with each other? Tune in to find out. I am Milo Dennison, and with me, as always, is Claire Milan
Hello.
and Cahill Feeney.
Hello.
All right, Claire, what's on the agenda this week?
So this week we sat down to watch, I describe it as a comedy called Anniversary. It's about a woman called Carla. It's her wedding anniversary. And she's sure that her husband Frank is going to surprise her with dinner. He had forgotten the year before, so he's going to make up for that slight with something fancy and extravagant, starting with the bouquet left on her doorstep. So that's the little synopsis. It's written and directed by Lain Kienzle and starring Johnny May and Lynn Tucci in the starring roles. I actually really enjoyed this film. It opens with this woman, and she's exercising in front of the television, and then a bouquet of flowers arrives at her door, and it says, "Oh, see you later," or something, and she thinks it's the anniversary. It's her wedding anniversary. She thinks her husband is surprising her later. And then she yells for her best friend who lives next door. So she's called Carla, her best friend's called Angela, and she shouts out the window, and her friend comes over and helps her get ready for this anniversary dinner, and they do their hair, and she even has this like mustache, and they wax off the mustache. And they go to the chemist and get more waxing stuff, and it's really funny because we don't normally see women of this age really as much on screen, like getting ready to go out to dinner on a kind of an anniversary date. What I loved about it was the friendship they had and the kind of camaraderie and chemistry between them. Like there is some funny moments, like when they go to the shop to get those waxing strips things, and it's just really funny. But then it kind of changes and becomes very poignant towards the end. No spoilers. I thought the two actresses, Johnny May and Lynn Tucci, were absolutely like fabulous. As people said in the comments section, they really should have their own Netflix series. Like these two should be like best buddies in a sitcom for a few episodes. I'd love to see more of them. So anyone is watching out there from Netflix, contact these actresses and this writer, Lain Kienzle, and get them on screen. I want to see more of them. And we need more representation of women in this age bracket on screen. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And it is very poignant as well. And it's lovely to see friendships like toward the older women as well. We don't often see that. So what did you think of it?
Yeah, I agree. It was really about the friendship between the two people more so than her relationship with her husband, I think. And and it's funny because I had a similar vibe too. I'm like, I wonder if these two do like a show together, or is this like a series of like YouTube videos or something? And then they, like I got that vibe that they kind of had worked together and played off each other really well because of that. And yeah, it was nice. Same thing when it opened and it showed the lady. I'm like, oh, okay, so a couple extra years, couple extra pounds. It was nice to see that versus some young fit girl trying to stay in shape or whatever. And just kind of how they can rely on each other as a couple and yell across the yard in order to get the other's attention and that kind of stuff. I did find the whole premise a bit kind of ridiculous, just in the sense of like how conveniently that the flowers were left at that time, kind of a thing. I don't want to give too much away either, but that I thought was and the visit to the chemist. I mean, couldn't she have just like shaved her mustache for that day? It was just for a dinner, right? Like,
yeah, it probably was ridiculous. I suppose like you kind of you have to suspend your disbelief a little bit. It's kind of a heightened sitcom-y feel of it. And I liked the thing in the going to the chemist. I thought, yeah, it just shows how to look out for each other and mind each other, and it's just really sweet. Yeah, they must have worked together before. If they haven't, it's amazing chemistry they naturally have.
Like it. Yeah, it kind of had a bit of an I Love Lucy vibe to it with the ridiculousness.
I suppose it's my job then to give everything away.
Yeah.
So what happened was, Yeah, like this film, it does depend a lot on the chemistry between the two main characters. It's a very character-driven story, and the humor in the film that is derived from, you know, their interaction. And I can see the appeal of it. I have to say, didn't really appeal to me. And I, you know, completely appreciate, you know, that it's a representation of a certain age group that you don't see in television, and it was great. You know, I'm all for that. But if I didn't have to watch it for no budget, you know, I probably would have like turned it off after 5 minutes. But I'm glad I stayed with it because, as you say, it did suddenly change sort of tack about 2/3 of the way through, and you know it became something else, kind of more poignant, as you say. And you know it was very good the way it said the coda to the film, the way it ended, and ultimately, as Milo and yourself said, it's really about the friendship that the two of them had, and it was an ode to friendship more than anything else.
Absolutely. As I wouldn't think, I know this wouldn't be your type of film, call, really. That's why I love this program. We get to watch all these genres we
Yeah.
wouldn't really, you know, go watch. And it makes you appreciate it. And it was very well filmed as well, I must say. It is such a really high quality. You could imagine this being on Netflix or something as a series or on television. Just the quality of the filming was so good. Yeah.
Yeah, I would need to find an audience, but I'm sure there's an audience out there for it that would appreciate it. I had the same problem, Cahill, though. I'm like, I don't really think I'm the target audience for this,
Yeah.
but you kind of have to step back from that and watch it from like, you know, our point of view of like, okay, is it well shot? Is it well acted? Is it well written? That kind of stuff, which I think it all pretty much is.
Yeah, it
Um,
is. Yeah.
Although I wonder what the neighbors think of these two ladies yelling, because that's a pretty suburban neighborhood. I'd imagine some of the neighbors would be like, "Damn it, ladies, stop yelling! Just pick up the phone if you want to talk to one another."
That's what I was thinking as well. And one of them has this amazing, like, New York accent. I think one of them has kind of a southern accent. So they're from different areas. I'm not sure where this is based, but I love that New York kind of, attitude that the friend Angela has. So, and yeah, it was just so sweet. Yeah. And even there's one moment where they have the same top because I got 2 for 1. It was
Oh,
just like lovely. They have each other, yeah, and it was no spoilers, but I loved the ending as well.
well, at the very beginning, on when she's doing her exercise, there's a photograph on the man on just beside her. It's of the two of them when they were younger. Obviously, you know, not her and her husband, but of the two of them. But obviously, now we knew each other for a long time, so maybe they've been neighbors. Maybe the neighbors are used to their behavior. Just looking at the photograph behind you, Milo, I noticed that the two houses are completely different too. Is that a typical in the States? You know, would you
There's
say?
neighborhoods like that. Yeah,
Okay.
Um,
yeah, certainly. Those cookie cutter McMansions, I think, is what they're called.
no,
Really large house that like two people live in, but it's got like 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms and a dining room and a den and 2-car garage, and like, yeah, 2 people live there.
they're like, but they're all like,
And
they're
they all look the same.
architecturally they're different too. You know,
Yeah,
it's not.
yeah. So there's certainly neighborhoods that look like that. Yeah, absolutely. I've never lived in one, but they exist. I've driven through
Is
them.
that like a posh suburbia America? Is it like
Kind
posh?
of, it's just the new suburbs.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I mean the suburbs used to be kind of just the single level ranch style places, and then they've just kind of gotten bigger and bigger, even though family sizes are getting smaller. It's America. Gotta have the big house.
I like the moment as well when the husband arrived home, heading into spoiler territory here now, and he gave her the anniversary gift, and she just resigned herself to her situation, her fate, you know,
Yeah.
and there was something quite normal about it. You know.
Mm.
This is how most people would, you know, most people would react probably. This, you know, it sort of it went it went from being a film where you might imagine a certain response to just being this is real life. This is what real life people do. real life people behave in that situation, which I liked.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Like, because they, this is his character and the way he, shows affection and that kind of stuff. And, she's obviously accepted that about him, and they've been together like 25 years. To whereas, like, yeah, Hollywood movie would have some kind of a big reaction to that kind of a thing. And yeah, in like real life, you're like, yeah, of course, this is the person. So you can't expect them to act out of the ordinary. So yeah, that's true.
That's very true. And that makes, I love these type of films then because like I love watching this The Ordinary. As you said, if it wasn't a Hollywood style film, there would be a big massive reaction or something. But just having that simplicity is it's just more, it's more emotional or something. And we can connect to it more, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a nice change in the style of the film. Yeah. To go from the kind of absurdist comedy to the kind of down to earth kind of subtlety of it. Yeah. Well, should we rate it? Carl, you want to go first, or you want me to go?
I'll go.
Right.
So yeah, like at the beginning, I despite everything I said about it, and I wasn't really liking it that much. And sort of it was sitting on 3 stars and holes below the waterline, sinking. But actually, it was ultimately, it did sort of deliver on a slightly different premise. So I'll give it 3.5 stars.
Yeah, certainly not my kind of film, but I appreciate it for what it is and how well it's made, and the characters. And it's funny, and I agree. Kind of the beginning, especially like the exercise bit, I didn't find it believable at all. Like I'm like, I feel like she should be sweating more, like and why is she just ignoring the doorbell and that kind of stuff? But yeah, it's a nice film. So I'm gonna go same with you. I'm going 3.5 stars.
So for me, it's so great to see friendship with older women portrayed on screen. Please give these women a series or something, or I want to see more of them. I really enjoyed it. It's lovely pacing, and I love the transition when it became more serious as well. It's really sweet. So I'm going to go 4 stars.
All right. There you have it, no budget audience. If you want to check it out, it's called, what's it called?
Anniversary.
Anniversary. I knew it was one word. I'm like, all right, Anniversary. It's called Anniversary. Check it out and let us know what you think. You can always reach us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at No Budget Show. And with that, we'll say see you next time and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.